Hi, welcome to No Construction. Not much happened. It was just finalizing the budget in Williamson County Commissioner's Court. I think it was items 30 or 33 through 36, was plots for future construction. 2 weeks ago, the Commissioner's Court admitted that, well, I don't think it's true. They said that um, citizens are costing more than they're paying in taxes. I personally think that's a ploy to make themselves look like they're doing a good job. They're being noble. They're sacrificing. They're doing something. They're not doing what they should do because people are complaining about tax. I think it's a giant ploy. All right. Well, maybe it is true now. I know it wasn't always that. But if that's true, then why are we making room for more? If we cannot afford ourselves, then why are we building more? And we really can't afford ourselves. THF doing whatever they please, you know, and more plots for future construction, which is going to include roads. And then later, along with that, just as simple numbers. Oh, the contract was for $200. Well, here's another 150 because you need things. It's just like, agreed contract or suing your ass. You need to hold them to the contract. Like there was a few today, I think it was like 27 through 30, somewhere in there, that uh, I'm having brain freezes here. It was like some scoping and electrical stuff. All right. Has there been confirmation they need those things? Or are they just saying that to get more money out of Williamson County? I think it's more likely the latter. But, we don't know that. Commissioner's Court doesn't care. The city councils don't care. So I guess tomorrow I'm going to be going over, a quick refresher of what I said this week and talking about whatever those things were with the plots. You know? Alright. So, last week, which I know this is kind of redundant because you're in the future. You're probably studying. I stuttered on saying study. Uh, on how people spoke the English language 100 years ago. Anyway, but last week I said my family has to save those Papa John's cards because that's guaranteed food in the future. Food for us isn't guaranteed until it's bought. You know, we don't even actually right now we don't have a guaranteed dinner for tonight. All right. Tomorrow we might not be able to afford dinner for that night. Okay. It's no joke, and there's people a lot worse off, and I'm not just talking about the homeless people. Uh, we'll likely have to choose between taxes and food come next year, especially after those plots get started. You know? uh, because, yeah, granted, it's not going to cost us for this year, but come 2020 when we have to pay taxes that for that year of 2019, those plots are going to cost us. What I didn't mention was this is the reason why I shaved my head. No longer can I afford a haircut. I mean, it's been that way for a long time. All right, I cannot afford a haircut. 1 second. Excuse me. Maybe if more people watch this, I would put an effort of editing that, but they don't. But I am still going to post videos. You know, I can't afford a prepay phone. I don't know I don't know if those exist in the future, but uh, they do now, and I can't afford that. Especially when there's at least a $20 increase. All right, and you can get a $20 little minute card that can get you 3 months of service. Oh, really not that bad, but I can't even afford that now because we're having trouble making ends meet, and that's not including if there's a medical emergency. I mean, I'm sure I don't know about the future, but at least now most people, they get a really good solid first degree burns in second degree range. They get to the hospital. No, we treat that at home. We don't even bother, you know, because we can't afford it. We drive ourselves to the ER. I mean, well, I guess if I'm injured bad enough, I'm not driving myself. But somebody drives us there within the family, drives the other person there because we can't afford an ambulance. Currently they're wanting $500 for not even 2 miles. You know, it's not including what do you call it? Medical care they give, like they give IVs. Well, they could say, "Oh, we used 3 IVs on you." All right. Well, the person's in bad shape that's in the ambulance. They're not letting the other person that's in decent shape in the ambulance. So they could say, "Oh yeah, we gave you this, we gave you that. Pay us $200 per bag." I can't confirm that was done. The person in the vehicle can't confirm that was done. So again, we're having to take their word for it. And I think a lot of them mistrust because we don't have the fucking money. You know? So anyway, that wasn't okay. So talking about a haircut, something I'm sure politicians get without thinking about. It just, oh, I need a haircut. They go. This wasn't the case 8 years ago, and I was receiving about $100 less. So 8 years ago, I can go get a haircut. I can afford that. I can afford 2, maybe 3 a month. You know, and I was making $100 less. Now that I'm making $100 more, I can't afford a haircut. And my belt is tighter. 8 years ago, I could afford to essentially blow the entire VA check every so often. Oh, I want to go do something stupid. Oh, well, there goes, the $500. All right, here you go. Great. I can afford that now. And, well, yeah, I mean, you could say that, well, good, you're saving money, not doing stupid shit. But the point is, it was, again, didn't know how good we had it till we lost it. But before COVID, uh, it wasn't like that. I could blow $500 2 or 3 times a year and not miss that money. Now I can't afford to lose $20. Personally, I have nowhere else to go and no one to take me in. Yeah, no one can take me in, at least anybody that can afford it. Uh, this court convinced THF to not exercise eminent domain, yet Wilco will steal land from taxpayers. There's a great deal that can be assumed there. It's like, okay, so when you're under threat, you can do all this wonderful good stuff. All right? But when you're not under threat, oh, yeah, we're taking that land from you. You know? Okay, so this is continuing the speech I had last week. When weapons are blunted and ferocity diminished, strength exhausted, and resources depleted, neighboring rulers will take advantage of these complications. That is why we'll lose, because the path All current Wilco elected officials are taking us down. These contractors are taking advantage of everyone, and we can't afford their actions. Those who are supposed to be our shield uh, against this are broken, leaving us nearly defenseless. Concerning resources, parts of Georgetown have to ration water. More people, the higher utility bills will be, and less to go around. More people in the area increase the need and cost of insurance. So yeah, increases insurance as well. Last week, the news reported that 40% of Americans have trouble obtaining basic needs. Going by 2016 census for Wilco, that's 218,164.8 people. All right, so I guess one person can make 80% of ends meet. That number can be rounded up to 220,000 minimum due to our growth. Again, despite claims otherwise, nearly half of us are being taxed to death. Unlike politicians, we cannot give ourselves raises. For some reason, politicians can find room in their budget to increase their staff and give themselves raises, but fail to find enough to hire responders we increasingly need due to political shenanigans. This court and every Wilco City Council keeps authorizing all this construction. I don't care if the construction is planned, the plan is killing us. It makes no sense to continuing a path of self-harm. No one purposely walks through a minefield, but certain elected officials run through one. The Pareto principle, aka 80-20 rule, means 80% of problems is caused by 20% of actions. 80% of our problems, especially taxes, stem from 20% of spending, and we spend a lot on construction. That's going to cost us more later. We're paying to have our taxes increased, and that's just dumb. I stopped there, but it continues a little bit. It says, applying the Pareto principle to this court means 80% of our problems is caused by just one. However, this is a rule of thumb. So, there's that. Anyway, well, you may see in a few minutes. You can watch the next video, because for you it's already there. For me, it hasn't happened yet. Alright, thanks for watching.